Burn me then. Burn Sharp Point down to the bedrock, and scatter our ashes to the narrow sea.
Hey, what's up guys? We're here on Realm of Thrones. My first time playing this mod. We're starting as a Westerman Hedge Knight. My guy's name is Roland of the Goofy Goober clan. I went ahead and gave myself some decent stats and some cool looking armor, but let's just jump right into it and head for the tournament in Lannisport. So we've been approached by Tywin Lannister's brother.
Hold a moment. You are Roland of Goofy Goober, are you not? I am Kevin Lannister. You are treading very close to Lannisport and Casterly Rock. State your business in our lands. My brother Tywin is on the march not far from here, and we prefer to know exactly who is wandering our roads.
I am headed to Lannisport for the tournament, my lord. I'm surprised you've heard of me.
A tournament? Very well. As for how I know your name, Roland, it is the business of House Lannister to know exactly who rides our roads. Enjoy the lists in Lannisport, but keep your steel sheathed outside the arena. My brother Tywin's host is barely a league away, and he has little patience for unruly behavior in his lands. You may pass.
Alright, let's win this tournament real quick and then we can talk to Tywin Lannister. My lord, thank you for inviting me to the post-tournament feast. As you know, I am a knight without patronage. If you offered me a chance to serve your house, I would.
House Lannister has no use for idle swords or tourney knights looking for a warm bed. If you wish to serve, you will do so by proving your worth in blood and mud. I can offer you a contract to fight for us as a mercenary. Show me that you can follow orders and eliminate our enemies, and perhaps we will discuss true patronage. Do you accept these terms?
Yes, I will serve your house as a mercenary.
It is done, then. You are now in the employ of House Lannister and the Crown. You will be paid a standard mercenary wage drawn from the coffers of Casterly Rock. See that you earn it. A Lannister always pays his debts, Roland. Do not make the mistake of thinking you can default on yours. I expect absolute obedience and ruthless sufficiency. Now go. Find our enemies and bleed them.
Okay, well, I didn't plan on becoming a mercenary so early on, but now that we are, I guess we can start recruiting. I'm gonna buy some food while I'm here and maybe some horses as well. Also, the Realm of Thrones mod has scripted events, which I have turned off because I believe AI influence is incompatible with the scripted events. I also am using a Custom World.txt file, which I'll have linked in the description. For those of you who don't know, you can change the World.txt file in your AI influence mod folder to give the AI a better understanding of the world's context and lore. This is the first time I've done this, and it seems to work very well. Alright, so there's a bandit hideout to the west of here. Let's see if we can get a quest to take it out. My lord, there's a bandit hideout close by. For a fee, I could wipe it out for you.
You want my goal to do what you're already paid to do, mercenary. 7 hells. You sellswords are all the same. Always begging for coin. Fine. There's a nest of sea raiders nearby, harassing my shores. Go wipe them out. I'll pay you, but don't expect a king's ransom. Do we have an agreement, or is the price not high enough for your delicate sensibilities?
We have a deal.
Good. See that it's done quickly. I won't pay for dawdling sellsword. Bring me proof the scum are dead, and you'll get your coin. Now go. before I decide to handle it myself and keep the gold.
That's so fucking cool. I love it when I get a dynamic quest.
Kill them all! Tear your limbs! Split your skull!
My lord, the Sea Raider hideout has been exterminated.
Exterminated, you say? I suppose time will tell if you're lying, sellsword. If I see another longship off my coast this month, I'll have your head on a spike. Here is your coin. We are settled. Now move along. I have a domain to run.
500 dinars is pretty shitty. I probably should have settled the price beforehand. Oh well. About a month has passed, and we have our first world event, Whispers of a Northern Rebellion. So, much like the show, it seems there's going to be a war between the North and King's Landing. So now I just have to wait for it to happen, and then I can go raid. Joffrey declared war on the Riverlands, which means I am now deep in enemy territory. So I need to be extra careful, especially with the Boltons wandering around. They'd probably flay me alive. I am Sir Roland of the Goofy Goober clan, and I wish to offer you the chance to surrender peacefully.
You ride under the banners of the boy king who murdered my husband, spout a fool's name to my face, and expect me to yield? I am Catelyn Stark. I will not become a hostage for the Lannisters to hold over my son's head. By the Seven, if you want to take me to King's Landing, you will have to wade through the blood of the Northmen to do it. Draw your sword, sellsword.
Alright, we captured Catelyn Stark, and I wanted to head back to King's Landing to show you something real quick. So, the AI Influence mod has a built-in training feature for your party. If you go to a city and you click on the arena, you can train your troops, which is what I do here. Surrender or die. It makes no difference to me.
You have the numbers, sellsword. I am a man of accounts, and I can see when a ledger is hopelessly unbalanced. The trident weeps enough today without my blood adding to it. I yield. Order your men to stand down.
Nice, so he surrendered. Afterwards, I saw them going for a castle and decided to help defend it. Alright, because I'm using the Proven Steel mod, I'm able to promote a soldier here to Companion. Pretty cool mod, it's like the Distinguished Service mod, so if you like being able to promote soldiers after a battle to Companion, check it out. Here's my new companion. He kinda looks like Braun. Killed over 100 men. What a beast.
Cursed be this day. I yield. I give up. I yield. I yield. I yield. I yield. I yield. I
My lord, I have captured 15 enemy lords, one of them being Walder Frey. I just wanted to inform you before I place them in the dungeons.
15 lords? You have the late Lord Frey in chains? And, by the seven, is that the Blackfish? Mercenary. You have done King Joffrey and House Lannister a service that will echo across the realm. Throw them into the deepest cells of Lannisport at once. The guards will see to them. Lord Tywin shall hear of your tremendous success this very day.
Okay, well, by doing that, I now have max relations with the Lannisters. So the Riverlands has nearly 8,000 troops, and the North has 20,000. So it's not looking good for Joffrey. If I had wanted to, I probably could have convinced the Vale and the Reach to join on Joffrey's side, but I didn't bother. My lord, I heard you were informed of my recent success with capturing 15 enemy lords. I was told I would be greatly rewarded.
Lancel is a fool for making promises in my name, but in this instance, his assessment was correct. You have dealt a crippling blow to the River Lords. To cage the Blackfish and Walder Frey in a single stroke, it is exactly the ruthless efficiency I demanded of you. A Lannister always pays his debts, Roland. Take this gold, continue to bleed our enemies, and you will find no patron more generous.
Roland, it does my heart good to see you on the road. The gods know we have much to celebrate. Have you heard the news from Lannisport? Some enterprising sellswords captured 15 Riverlands lords, including the Blackfish himself, and delivered them to my son Lancel. You mercenaries are earning every stag my brother pays you. Tell me, my friend, how fares your own company amidst all this glorious slaughter?
That was actually me, my lord. I was the mercenary who captured 15 enemy lords.
It was you? By the seven, Roland. You have single-handedly crippled the Tully host, and you delivered them to Lancel. You've done my son a great service, and House Lannister will not forget it. My brother Tywin values results above all else, and you have delivered a masterpiece.
So, once you have a high enough relation with a certain clan, you can recruit their household soldiers, which I don't know if these Lannister troops are any better than the Westermen troops that I already have. We'll see. I left Joffrey's service as a mercenary, and I found Hodor, so you know I gotta recruit Hodor. I then bought an interesting-looking ship. Sailed to Tyrosh in the Stepstones, where I bought a Dramachian ship, basically just building my fleet. I then had to sail to Bravos in order to upgrade my ships. Running low on money, I started hunting pirates. I was looking on YouTube for how to get a dragon in game, and I found out that if you speak to this Gimli guy in Monteris, he will tell you to duel a guy named Maegor. Once you kill Maegor, you'll get his dragon. Now, I wandered around for at least 20 minutes trying to find this fucking guy, but I finally found him.
And so, the great prophecy that foretold Roland of the Goofy Goober clan gaining a dragon and conquering Westeros has begun. You might be asking how Roland is able to ride a dragon. The truth is, he's actually the Mad King's bastard. Anyways, he sails for King's Landing now.
The tides bring strange driftwood to Driftmark's shores at this hour. You prowl near high tide with a host of mainlanders, Lannister men no less, in the dead of night. I am Lord Monterus Valerian, and you are trespassing on my family's domain. State your name and your business, stranger, before I decide you are a storm we must weather with steel.
I am Roland of the Goofy Goober clan, a former mercenary for the Lannisters, now independent. I just came back from Essos, having acquired a new red dragon.
A goofy goober. You speak like a drunken mummer, Roland. You drag Lannister steel onto Driftmark and expect me to tremble at tales of a red dragon hatched in some Essosi brothel? If you had a dragon, the sky would be ablaze, not this dismal fog. I care not for your mercenary past or your delusions. Take your men and your fables off my shores before I decide to drown the lot of you. The sea does not tolerate fools.
Careful how you speak to me, or I might just take your lands for myself.
Take my lands? You are a mainlander standing on an island, Roland. You have no fleet, no supply lines, and the stone walls of Hull hold 600 swords just down the coast. You are not a conqueror. You are a shipwreck waiting to happen. Draw your steel and try it, or find a barge back to the continent. The next words you speak will decide if you leave this beach alive.
Look around, dumbass. I have 2 heavy ships and a light ship. Because of your arrogance, I will now take your life.
3 ships. Excellent. They will make fine additions to my fleet once your corpse is feeding the crabs. You had your chance to sail away, Roland. Now you drown in your own blood. Marines, loose your quarrels. Slaughter these mainland dogs.
You bastard!
I yield.
Roland, emboldened with his execution of Monterus, decided to press the attack. Little did he know, Stannis and his goons would come out of the woodwork to pursue him. That's when Roland knew he had to lure them on to land so he could use his big-ass dragon.
You have nowhere left to run. You thought you could declare war on Dragonstone, murder my bannerman Monterus Valerian, and simply walk away? You are a fool. I have more than twice your numbers, and my lords surround you. Surrender your forces now and face the king's justice, or I will smash your host and take your head from your shoulders. The choice is yours.
After I capture you, your ransom will be Dragonstone itself. I have one thing you did not account for. A dragon. Prepare to watch your men burn, Stannis.
A dragon? You think to frighten me with desperate lies? I see your host. I see Lannister rabble and Valyrian footmen, but no beasts of myth. Even if you brought the Black Dread himself, I would not yield. I am iron. I do not break. You refused the king's mercy. Now you will face his justice. Draw your swords.
I just captured your king, Stannis. I burned his army alive with my dragon, much like I'm going to do to yours.
You murdered Monterus Valerian, and now you boast of chaining the rightful king. By the stormy seas, you think the threat of fire will make a man of Dragonstone kneel? Look around you, fool. The Valerian fleet and the Florent vanguard are breathing down your neck. Let your beast spit its flames. We will drown you in your own blood. Draw your steel.
I yield.
I yield.
Surrender, or I will burn your army alive like I did your kings and fellow lords. The war is over. Your king is captured. There's no need for you to burn alive today.
You dare threaten a servant of the Lord of Light with fire? You play with sparks, heretic, while I command the inferno. You may hold King Stannis in chains, but the night is dark and full of terrors, and your end is at hand. My men outnumber yours, and our faith makes us invincible. The flames will purify your flesh today, and I shall pry my king from your blackened, ashen hands.
I yield.
With Roland's recent victories over Stannis and his lords, he now sets his sights on conquering Dragonstone. But first, he will try to reason with Stannis.
You have lost, Stannis. Surrender Dragonstone to me, and I will let you live.
You won the battle, outlaw. You hold my life. But you do not hold Dragonstone, and you never will. It is my seat by the right of law. You think the threat of death will make me bend? I am iron. I do not break. Strike off my head if you have the stomach for it, murderer. But I will never surrender my duty to the likes of you.
I cut him in half vertically with my new sword, Lightbringer.
Now that Roland has conquered Dragonstone, he is going to install the most qualified administrator in all of the Seven Kingdoms. Using his big-ass dragon to take Dragonstone, Roland, alongside Dunover the Marauder and the esteemed Hodor, have founded the Goober Empire. With the death of Stannis Baratheon and the usurpation of his throne, Roland now seeks to unite the clans that once served Stannis under his own banner.
I am Emperor Roland of the Goobers. I executed Stannis and hold your new liege lord in my dungeons. I offer you the chance to swear fealty to me.
The tides shift, and a wise captain does not sail into a hurricane. Word of your slaughter of Selyse's host has already reached me. If Stannis is truly dead and Lord Axel sits in chains, then Dragonstone is a sunken ship. I am a man of pragmatism, Emperor Roland. House Celtigar has survived for centuries by reading the winds. I accept your offer. I will bend the knee and pledge my swords to your empire.
Okay, well, Adrian Celtigar is the first vassal of the Goobers. This is good, because by him swearing fealty, it's giving me legitimacy, which might make recruiting other clans easier. There is one feature of the Realm of Thrones mod that I found interesting, and that is, if you want to get out of doing a battle, you can actually duel the enemy lord, and if you win, you can just go on your way. Funny thing is I could use my dragon if I wanted to. But, you know, a little bit overkill. I don't think I need to use my dragon here. Moving on, I want to try and convince Montford Valerian, the guy whose son I executed, to swear fealty to me. Lord Montford, I offer you the chance to swear fealty to me here and now. Stannis has been executed, and your new liege lord sits in these dungeons.
You hold the fortress. You hold my wife Gertrude. And your hands are still stained with the blood of Monteris. By the old blood, you ask for fealty now? An oath sworn in chains, under the shadow of the headsman's axe, is as shifting as the tide. I know when the wind is against me, but I will not pledge my sword while my kin's blood is still wet on yours.
I know I killed your son, and there's nothing I can say to amend for that, but he forced my hand. Do not let your house die out. Swear fealty to me, and I will let you live, with your fiefs.
You speak of my son's death as a mere shift in the wind. But you are right about one thing. House Velaryon must not perish in the dark. The old blood must endure. If you swear to spare my wife, and leave my ships and holdings at Hull untouched, then I will strike my colors. I pledge the seahorse to your banner. The tide has turned, and I must sail with it.
Lord Dennis, I offer you the chance to swear fealty to me. King Stannis is dead. Your new King Axel sits in my dungeons.
By the stormy seas, you take me for a blind fool? I survived the crushing depths off Massey's Hook. I do not fear your beast's fire, nor the death it brings. I mourn the 700 good men you burned at Spicetown, but their ashes only turn my heart to stone. And do not insult me with deceit. I know you hold no kings in your chains. I am a man of Dragonstone, and we do not break before a false storm. I will never swear fealty to a murderer.
Then I will burn you and your men, and take your fiefs by force. Your house will be erased from history, all because you didn't bend the knee. Last chance. Swear fealty and keep your fiefs, or die with your house.
Burn me then. Burn Sharp Point down to the bedrock, and scatter our ashes to the narrow sea. The tides will wash it all away, and the stone will remain long after you and your beast are rotting in the earth. I made my peace with the stranger years ago off Massey's Hook. I do not fear the dark, and I will never kneel to a tyrant. Do your worst, Dragon Rider. I am ready.
Enough! I yield!
I yield.
Enough.
You called your last chance final, yet here you stand, repeating yourself like a gull over a fish scrap. My answer has not changed, Roland. The sea does not bargain with the storm, and I do not bargain with tyrants. Strike the blow, light your fires, or leave me be in my chains. I will not kneel.
I burn him alive with my dragon.
The stone remains.
Stannis is dead. I offer you a chance to join me instead.
If the king has fallen, it is because his fire has burned out, as the Lord of Light willed it. But do not mistake these chains for submission, captor. You ask me to join you? I serve only the one true God. I have looked into the flames, and I have seen nothing to suggest you are worthy of his light. The night is dark and full of terrors, and you are but a fleeting shadow within it.
I chop her in half vertically with my sword.
R'hllor, I return to your light. The night is...
Enough.
I yield. I yield.
Lord Eustace, the war is over. Stannis has lost and his clans have swore fealty to me. Bend the knee to me, and I'll grant you sharp point.
I am a Brune of Dire Den, and we don't mince words or play courtly games. If Stannis is truly gone, and Florent is steering our ship into the rocks, I have no desire to drown with him. You have the men, and you offer sharp point. I'll bend the knee to protect my blood and my lands. I pledge my sword to you today, but hear me well. An honest man expects honest dealings. I expect you to make good on your promise of that town.
Okay, just 2 castles left to capture, Rook's Rest and Sweetport. I'm gonna honor my word and give sharp point to Eustace.
Halt! Stop!
Lord Davos, the war is over. Stannis is gone, I control Dragonstone, and his clans have sworn fealty to me. Join my empire, and I will grant you Rook's Rest.
Strike these chains, make good on your word regarding Rook's Rest, and House Seaworth will sail under your banners. I am yours.
Swear fealty to me, and I will grant your clan Stone Dance.
Truth be told, you leave me no choice. You hold my wife, my son, and my daughters in your cages. You slaughtered my allies and took my home. I will not pretend to love you, but I am an honest man. To save my blood and reclaim Stone Dance, I will bend the knee. By the 7, I accept your terms. My sword is yours.
The Dragon's Rise and the Trident's Dilemma. The realm has been shaken to its core. Emperor Roland has executed King Stannis Baratheon, unleashing a red dragon that reportedly incinerated hundreds. Faced with annihilation, the Lords of the Narrow Sea, including houses Valerian, Celtigar, Seaworth, and Brune, have publicly bent the knee, transferring their fleets and lands to the new empire. Only Axel Florent remains defiant in chains, fanatically claiming a dead king's crown. This apocalyptic shift in power has sent shockwaves westward to the Trident, where the Iron Throne and the Riverlands remain deadlocked in unresolved peace negotiations. With a dragon-riding conqueror rising in the east, King Joffrey and Lord Edmure Tully face immense pressure to finally settle their bloody stalemate before the flames reach them.
Okay, there's very few clans left to convince. Let's have a chat with Gerald Staunton here and see if we can buy his loyalty.
Well, and who do we have here?
Swear fealty to me, and when I take Clan Sunglass's fief, I will grant it to you.
Look around this damp cell. My wife and son shared this rot with me. Stannis is ashes, and Axel Florent is a madman clinging to a ghost. I am an honest man, so I will give you an honest answer. Words are wind, but dragonfire is absolute. If you promise me the Sunglass lands and the safety of my blood, then House Taunton is yours. I bend the knee.
And just like that, we have annexed all of Stannis Baratheon's lands and lords. And I'm going to keep my promise to Gerald Staunton and give him Sweetport. Now I want to propose trade to Braavos, and you can do that by going to the governor of your town, in this case, Hodor. We propose trade to Braavos. After a few weeks in game, they'll respond, hopefully accepting the trade. I think I'm going to end the video here. I might make a part 2. If this video gets 1,000 likes, I'll make a part 2. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one.